Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Ask Tanya. We are on episode numero 7 and I am so excited. This is the segment where you can ask your questions and I will answer them from a cosmetic chemist perspective. And if you would like to get your questions featured in the upcoming Ask Tanya episode, definitely check out the link below. Go to the Ask Tanya tab on my website to submit your question, and I look forward to getting to your question. But in the meantime, we have some new ones here. You guys know I don't waste any time, so let's get started. From Miss Tyresha, and Tyresha says, can you give product recommendations / routine for toddlers? I tend to struggle keeping my hair curly, my kids' curly tresses hydrated, and for one, the hair tangles really bad. With them still being young, I don't want to use any products that could contain harmful ingredients that could either cause damage or irritate the scalp. Great question, Tyresha. So when it comes to like product recommendations, there are a few hair care brands that I recommend for the kiddos. The first one is by AUBREY Baby Goodies. She is a client of mine and she has an amazing natural hair line for kids. That's number one. Number two would be SHEA Moisture. They have a really good baby line and a kids line as well. I think the baby line is the kids line, but I would check out SHEA Moisture, and the third one I would say is CANTU. Check them out as well. If I had to choose one, it's gonna be my client, AUBREY Baby Goodies. Love her stuff, so I would say check her out first, and I'll put the link below. When it comes to routine, the biggest advice I would say is focus on moisture and keeping it simple. You know, shampoo their hair, condition their hair, maybe have like a little spritz, like a little moisture spritz, you know, on a every other day, you know, basis, you know. But I would just keep it very, very simple. I wouldn't even get into like protein treatments or anything like that. Just keep it very, very simple with them. And like I said, if I could check out any brand for babies and toddlers and kids, AUBREY Baby Goodies. CANTU and SHEA Moisture are good too, but start off with her. And she probably has a whole routine that she used for her kids as well. She got babies too, okay? So check her out. Okay, our second question is by Miss Brianna, and Brianna says, hi Tanya, I have a question. My daughter goes to summer camp and she swims on Tuesdays. I forgot to buy her a Speedo and she says she put her hair in the pool. Luckily her hair isn't twist, so her hair looks okay, but now it's drier than ever. Is there anything you recommend in order for her to reverse that? Yes, so the dryness is coming from the chlorine. It's just very drying to our hair. So what I would say is focus on deep conditioning. I don't know how often you wash your hair, if it's on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, but I would definitely incorporate deep conditioning. I would do that on a weekly basis until her hair is back to normal. If you can incorporate steam, that would be amazing. And you can also incorporate a hot oil treatment like with avocado, olive, or sweet almond oil. Those would be some really great options to consider to get that nourishment and that moisture retention back into her hair. So I would definitely recommend that. If it still isn't doing what it needs to do, you can do a detox, like a hair detox. K18 has a detoxing shampoo that's really good. You can do a homemade detox by making like apple cider vinegar rinses. Don't get it in her eye because it will burn, but that's like a nice homemade DIY detox treatment that you can do for her hair. But that's only if the deep conditioning for the next 3 weeks does not improve her hair. So that's what I recommend for her. Okay, the next question is from Miss Alexis, and Alexis says, rose water seems to be pretty popular. It smells great, but what are your thoughts on regarding its ability to moisturize? Thanks bunches. Hey Alexis, thank you for your question. So rose water is very popular. It is a great hydrating liquid and it naturally has humectants within it. So just like honey and glycerin and aloe vera juice, these ingredients containing humectants, what they do is that they draw moisture from the air into your hair, and they can also do that for your skin as well. And because they are moisturizing due to the humectants, or it being a humectant I should say, it's naturally going to soften the hair, it's naturally going to moisturize the hair. So that's why you have a lot of people, especially in the lock community, who opt for rose water. You know, it's very lightweight, it's not heavy, it helps to improve manageability, and like I said, it softens the hair because it is so moisturizing. So that's why it's so popular. There's a really good one I like. I think it's by a brand called Heritage. It's in a pink spray bottle. You can get it on my Amazon store. The link is below. But there's one that has like rose water and glycerin. So it's like a combination and it's super hydrating. And you can use it on your skin as well. So multifunctional. So that's what I recommend. And that's why rose water is so amazing. So yeah. Okay, the next question is from Miss Lisa. And Lisa says, how how is the right way to twist your hair according to curl pattern? Is it right to left or left to right? Honestly, Miss Lisa, I would just say do the pattern, the direction that is most comfortable for you. Okay, so for me, I'm right-handed. So when I do my twist, I typically do right to left, right to left, right to left. You know what I'm saying? And it works for me. So whatever direction feels the most comfortable to you, I would focus on that, you know, because you want to have a good experience when you do your hair. You don't want it to be uncomfortable. The biggest thing I would focus on is making sure that your twists are not tight, you know, or bringing any trauma to the scalp, that your ends aren't looking crazy, and that you're using the right product. That's what I would focus more so on. But the direction, just go in the direction that's most comfortable for you. Okay, the next question is from Miss Paula, and Paula says, what causes certain products to cause pilling? Those annoying tiny white balls on your hair when mixed together. Excuse me, y'all. Mixed together. Is there anything we can do to circumvent this? Is it possible to test it beforehand by rubbing some of each product between your palms, or does it only pill when in your hair? So that's a really great question. So what causes these products to sometimes like cause little white ball, like little, you know, little white balls in your, like gels and creams will do that. Typically there's some type of incompatibility that's taking place between these two different formulas. It can be the pH, it's just like not meshing with each other, or it could be something related to like the electrical charge of the formula, where you have one formula that's like a cationic ingredient, positively charged, and you have another one that's anionic, negatively charged. Those typically do not get along very well. They will clash, you know, so it can be a number of things. So what I recommend doing is, yes, definitely taking two different, like take the two formulas and adding a little bit together and just seeing what happens when you mix it together, because a lot of time that will predict how it's going to be on your hair. But also think about the amount of the product that you're using, because if the instructions say, for example, use a dime size amount or use a lightweight amount, it's there for a reason. So it could be that you're using too much of that product as well. Or it could be your hair already has a lot of buildup going on. So even with you putting that product on top, your hair is like, nah, we need to be clean. Okay, we need to be clarified. So it can be a number of things. I would look at each of those options and proceed accordingly. Okay, the last question is from Miss Kelly, and Kelly says, hi Tanya. New to your YouTube channel and I love it. Yay, thank you. I live in the Caribbean, hot and humid at the moment. I'm postmenopausal, always have oily skin, and I sweat. Hence the oily scalp and dry hair. I have experienced seborrheic dermatitis patches, which I've managed to control with tea tree oil, ACV, and water spray. But if it's stubborn, we'll use a prescribed ointment or a coal tar shampoo, but I would rather stick to natural products. There's a lot going on with my hair, which is high density, fine, curly, coily, highly porous, dry hair strands, especially the bushy ends, which are gray. The crown in front of my hair is more gray and more exposed to the sun. Wash day, once a week routine is pre-poo, just started, moisturizing wash, DC, then leave-in. I would love to apply oil or grease to the strands to seal, but I'm afraid of adding more oil to my strands in case it starts to build up on my scalp. My question, if I apply oil or grease away from my scalp down to the end, does oil travel up the root and scalp? Or should I not apply oil or grease at all because of an oily scalp? Thank you for considering my question, and thank you for sharing your immense information. Just started pre-pooing because of your channel, and wash day is easier. Thank you, love and blessings, Kelly. Yay, Kelly, I'm so happy you are seeing results with pre-pooing. I'm telling you, it is a game changer, and thank you for watching my channel. So you had a really great question, and I get this question asked pretty often. So because you have an oily scalp, I would, of course, definitely, I don't recommend you oiling your scalp, you know, like adding like oil, like, because technically your scalp doesn't need that. You know, if anything, your scalp needs, like you said, like the ACV, for example, that's going to help tremendously. The coal tar, that's going to help tremendously. Now, when it comes to sealing your hair, I get your concern, because you're like, hey, I'm trying to lock in this moisture, but I'm not trying to, you know, cause any further issues with my oily scalp. So I get where you're coming from. So here's the thing, the oil is not going to travel up the shaft of your hair and get to your scalp. Oil typically does the opposite. So when you think about our hair's natural sebum, right, that our scalp produces, is going to come from the sebaceous glands and start traveling down the beauty of gravity. But the opposite will not happen. Now, here's what I do recommend doing. If you are going to lock in your moisture with an oil on the strands of your hair, use a very lightweight oil. I wouldn't start off with the hair greasy just yet. You can try it. You can try it and see how your hair responds, but I would start off with something lightweight like sweet almond oil or grapeseed oil or like jojoba oil. And you don't need a lot, like literally maybe a nickel size amount. You know, a little goes a long way. See how that works. And then if you want to go up to hair grease for that, you know, because you do have high porosity hair. I think you said you have high porosity hair. Did I make that up? You said it. Okay, great. You have high porosity hair. So I get, you know, you're looking at hair grease because it's an awesome sealant, especially for high porosity hair. So start with the lightweight oils and then see how your hair responds before you progress to the hair grease. Keep with your routine with the coal tar shampoo, which is absolutely amazing, by the way. I should make a video on that because that's a really, really good topic. But keep doing what is working for your scalp. The tea tree, the ACV, those are gems, especially for seborrheic dermatitis and a lot of scalp conditions as well. So that's my recommendation. Try it out and keep me posted. Thank you, Kelly. All right, guys, hope you have enjoyed the 7th episode of Ask Tanya. Once again, to get your question featured, go to my website. I'll put the link below. Click the Ask Tanya tab, submit your question, and I look forward to getting to your question in the upcoming Ask Tanya video. If you would like more information on your hair from a cosmetic chemist perspective, learn about ingredients and techniques and all the things to help you save time and money, check out these amazing resources, these ebooks I created just for you. The best hair advice that I got for y'all, for real, is in these ebooks. So definitely check them out if you do not have them already. If you would like one-on-one hair care coaching, connect with me. I have a few options available for you from email. We can connect via email or we can do a video call and I can create a customized hair care plan, including products just for you. And I'll post that link below for you as well. All right, guys, I love you and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.